I would like to welcome you back to another episode of the Princess Diaries podcast. I'm so excited to be here. I am your host, Chris Kaylin, and I'm here with an amazing guest. A phenomenal woman, some may say, but she is the CEO of her own business. She's all about helping women find grace and to feel seen and to feel wanted and welcome. So I'm so happy to be here with you, Christian Jackson.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Chris.
I'm glad we're here because this was a long time coming.
And was.
But we made it work. We are here. So I will say when I first got wind of who you were, so I'm a graduate of the South Carolina State University. And when I was there, we had Brooks, but we did not have a mental health center. So to see that we have one and what it looks like, what was your influence with that?
Oh, yes. So it's a dream job. So I am the director of counseling at South Carolina State University. And so I got the job because a friend of a friend of a friend was like, yo, you would kill this position, because I had already built Couch with Christian.
Right.
So when I got there, it was exciting to know that it really needed a facelift, if you will, in terms of the stigma of mental health on the campus and all that. I've never gone to an HBCU. I really wanted to, though. I really wanted to apply.
You can do it now. You got your second chance.
That's why I was this is my HBCU experience. And so I used everything, my experience as a therapist, a community developer, curriculum development, all the things I've done in the community, just brought it all to state. I love it. And they let me do whatever I want, which is nice. I've proven that I can be trusted, which is cool. So It's the idea was just go up in there and be you. And I was on the yard at the plots looking for my sorors, just trying to figure out how can I engage with the students, let you see my face. And so I think I've done enough of that to where the students and the administration and alumni, they trust me. And we're just going up. So
Absolutely.
I love it. It's a good time.
And I will say it's great to see just someone who just takes so much love and care for the university. So I love that. But getting to know you, so let's jump back into what you do. So Couch with Christian, you are a therapist.
I am.
And like I said, from your site, and I'll let you tell your story, but how did you get to where you are now?
Oh, yes. So I am a licensed professional counselor supervisor, which means not only in South Carolina do I do the full scope of practice, which is treat, do therapy, and I can diagnose.
Oh, wow.
And so I also help other people who have their dreams to be fully licensed like me. I'm ushering people in per the state. I can help you get your license with your hours and stuff like that.
Oh,
that's where the supervision comes in. So I have supervisees to train and mentor them up, and I love that. That's just something I've always been as a giver. I like to have a good time. So when you learn with me, whether you're my client or a mentor or an official supervisee with the state to get your license, a lot of it is really just me taking you somewhere because I've been there. I tell my clients, I can't take you nowhere I've never been. Right? So it's been fun to be and see where I am because I never really thought I would be here. It's funny how life just be taking you on little turns, ain't it?
Literally, the pathway is all. You must have been on tapping my phone yesterday.
Yes, you had a conversation in the group chat.
Literally, and it was just it was one of those. I don't want to say midlife crisis, but midlife crisis. It's just am I supposed to be in me? Because I always tell people, it's when you are submitting these job applications. I don't know what's going on now. I don't know if it's just me, but it's I feel like I'm submitting these job applications, and I always get the. You were great, but we went with another candidate. And it's you get enough of those as to where it starts to play on your mental. Am I good enough to be in this industry? Do I deserve this job? So it's just one of those things where it's imposter syndrome starting to show up and have you having me question am I supposed to be doing this? So that is
yeah, which is why when I got the job application, it's I knew I could do this at South Carolina State, which I have to say my views do not necessarily reflect that of South Carolina State University. I knew that I could be great, and then I got hired right away. And yet, when I got there, I'm about to be 39 next month. So I'm
don't crack.
Period. Thank you.
And y'all, she has a son who's a teenager you could think it's her little brother, but okay.
He's sitting right here. He's 14. Yes. So we have, I have to prove myself, I thought, and still kind of with, people on campus who have been there for 30, 50, 60 years. It really does make you think how did I get here, whatever. And I have to constantly position myself to prove myself because I'm telling myself I'm not good enough.
Right.
And it's reminding me of all the times when I was a kid, if I get into my therapist bag, right? Where it's like, young Christian could not see this because of whatever scarcity mindset I had, where I grew up a certain way, and I wasn't around people who were really attaining certain things.
Right.
Because I imagine, like, part of your story may be that you're a pioneer in what you're doing, Chris.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're the first person to do it.
And I think that's what it is. And it's just kind of like, you know what? And there's really no guidebook on how to do it. No one can really be like, you should do this and you shouldn't do that. So it's like, as my dad would say, we're just going to Chuck Berry this thing and figure it out. Like, we're going to figure this out as we go.
That's it.
But that's the thing. And like, talking about childhood traumas and your daddy issues book, and I had so many things I just want to have. Okay, let me backtrack because I'm getting
many things.
I know so many things. So how did you come up with Couch with Christian, and what made you develop that?
Okay, yes, you did ask me. Sorry, I forgot to answer.
No, you're fine, because I was like, we're just having conversation. It flows. What is supposed to happen?
It does. And I'm just like, even as I'm talking about myself, like, I get so excited about stuff because I am proud of what I've been able to do. Now, I have to say, I'm going to introduce y'all to Ray Ray, who is my inner child.
Okay.
I
was like, who's Ray Ray?
Yes. Okay. My maiden name was Ray. So I just kind of go by that sometimes. And I do have my son in the room. So, baby, you're going to learn a lot about mommy that you probably didn't know. And so I don't remember how I named Couch with Christian. But if we're going to talk about my brand and why I got to where I am, I have to say, ironically, as the Daddy Issues therapist, that whole brand came out of me being in session with the client, and the women would just be telling me all their relationship traumas, stories, being ghosted, like all the things, ghosting, all the things, right? And we would just be kicking, and like part of our job as a therapist is to get your background.
Right.
So I'm asking about your relationship history, I'm asking about your medical history, like where you grew up and how, and then you get into, who raised you, who was your village, because those people, they influence who you are.
Right.
And so as I was talking to these women about why their relationships weren't working, it was always, I was triggered.
Right.
So for anybody who's a therapist, and I tell all my supervisees, like, bro, please, if you are a therapist and you studying to do the thing, go take your ass to therapy.
They always say therapist.
Please go. I had therapy Wednesday. It was great.
Listen, love my therapist. I had therapy Tuesday.
Okay, period. So both of us had a little sesh.
Yes, and needed. Okay.
Because it's so important. Like, you never know what's going to come up.
You don't.
You were in an industry where you were like I watch you, and 29,000 people are watching you. I saw your follower count. It's a lot, right? To even like
everyone
be
has an
pressure.
opinion.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion.
Everything.
And I was having opinions about myself in session. I'm like, I can't take over this session with old girl and be like, oh, me too, because my daddy was this.
Right.
So I had to start going to therapy. And so then really, my therapist at the time, her name was Kim, shout out to her. She was like, you need to write a letter to your dad. And it's like the most annoying tool in our therapist belt to go write a letter to this.
They let you to write a letter.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a healing project, very cathartic, much like what you shared in your first pod, and like just having to get the things out, and you really face yourself.
Yes.
And it's pretty scary.
Yes.
And so all of my one letter turned into like journal entries and like all these things where I was like writing to like myself. So Ray Ray had to come out, my inner child, that part of me who's seen a lot of the trauma. Ray Ray's like 12.
Right.
That's around the age of my parents separated.
Okay.
So I kept writing, and just like my brain kind of works where I categorize things, so those turn into chapters, and like the book came. Right. So the Daddy Issues book is my pride and joy because I self-published it. Yeah. And ironically, my dad is a writer. My dad is a great speaker.
Wow.
And my story is in the book in terms of like what we had been through, what our strife was, and so the book is written so that it's a manual, right? Like, you hear the story of me and my dad, but then also of some of my clients. So I changed their name and some parts of their stories, but I really want women to see themselves in the book. So I start out by giving like a diagnosis that I made up of daddy issues. So I base it off of reactive attachment disorder, which is really diagnoses for like kids in the foster system.
Right.
So they may have issues with authority because of the attachment. Like they're in and out of homes maybe, or they just don't connect with their caregivers and there's just a disconnect.
Right.
So attachment is really my thing. And that's really what daddy issues is all about, is how do you fare on this spectrum of, am I insecurely attached? Meaning I'm more anxious. I give myself and of myself so much to keep these people in my life. A lot of people think romantic stuff, but attachment really does.
Even with friendships. Because you do, like, you can let a friend drag you and you're like, but this is my friend, but does your friend really, do they support you? Do they listen to you? Do they call you? Or do you have, like, is it a one-sided friendship?
Exactly. That
so it's like, you have to realize that. And I think a lot of times people think things are romantic, but even relationship with your parents, with your family, like, all of those can get really complicated.
All of them. And you, like, the way that I write daddy issues, it's not to like villainize my dad or I have this hashtag on my page where I'll just say dads matter, because they do.
Absolutely.
So it's not a dad bashing thing. Kristen Jackson is a daddy issues therapist and she hates men. It's not that. It's really a call to you addressing the attachment issues with yourself. The God of your understanding is Heavenly Father or whatever that may be. And so I really enjoy all the different nuances, if I do say so myself, and how I laid it out. Because, you know, I'll tell the story and I'll talk about the woman on the defense who's a type of daddy issues woman. And I've been all these women.
And I was like, wait, which woman is that?
Talk about this.
Like, which one is she?
Yeah, okay, so there's a whole chapter where I'm breaking down like all these different women.
Right.
So the woman on the defense is the woman who's like, I don't need no man. And I don't really do females.
Right.
I get that all the time.
You know, they always messy.
You know, they always in drama. I don't really do females, right? So she's like always got her walls up.
Right.
And like, all, you know that saying like, stay ready so you gotta get ready. It's cute until it's not.
Right.
Because bitch, you need help. You need help. You're not like okay.
You need somebody.
Yes.
Like you need somebody. You need to be soft. And I always, well, one, how did your dad feel about the book?
Oh, I don't know. And that's the gag, folks. I wrote the book, and okay, so part of my story is that I have not spoken to my dad since it was 2017.
Oh, wow.
And now it's 2025. So we have had a few falling outs. And just a spoiler, because I hope you guys go get it. It's a back and forth, and the issue is on my paternity. So whether or not he is my dad. And it's really an idea that my mom put in his head. So mom was the present parent, and some of my family are like, well, she got off so good because you didn't talk about your mom and all this and that. And people have been asking me to write mommy issues anyway, which is coming out in about a few weeks. We'll talk about that. But I wrote from a place that needed to be healed because daddy was not claiming me. I had a lot of identity issues in the beginning. I was, my early years in college, I was always partying.
Outside.
I was outside, honey. And I'll be telling the kids on camp, like, oh, God, you got to stay away from the bros and doggone Omega. You know?
That's everywhere just like, we do not approve. You have to stay away from the
You got to stay. But, you know, of course, that's all. I have to take responsibility for that.
Accountability.
But, you know, accountability, because I'm grown now.
Right.
I'm almost 40. I can't keep claiming that. But it'll be a nice little pretty nasty party. You know, I love to be just out because of, not because I was really trying to be in the mix, really, but I'm like, oh, my God, I'm free. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Too free.
Too free.
Right.
I was out.
My granny said, free till you fool.
Oh, come on, granny.
Free till you fool.
That was so good because I was fooled now. And I didn't know my worth.
Right.
Or my value. Like I was giving myself like physically, emotionally, like spiritually to anybody. I didn't even talk to God. I was running from him. I have like what I call now this like this love relationship with God. No,
but seriously, but I feel like honestly the older I've gotten, and I don't know like what it is. My mom always told me, she was like, you have to create your own relationship with God. Like she was like, I can pray for you, everybody can pray for you, but until you know how to talk to God yourself, like you have to do that. You have to create that open contact. And I feel like the older, I don't know, I feel like the older I've gotten, like, and just when life, just lifing, that's the only person that you can call on, talk to, like, just everything. So I feel like life is going to strengthen your relationship with God, or your higher power, whatever you choose. But like, it's going to happen by default. Now, if you're fighting it, then that's just a whole nother.
That's a trauma response. It is,
absolutely.
And I think like even when I'm thinking about the chapter in my book is like once I lay out what the daddy issues, what it is, and what those symptoms are, then I have a chapter about that, like daddy issues and your heavenly father,
right?
Your earthly father versus your heavenly father. So my therapist told me this breakthrough thing when I was writing it, or right before I wrote it, and she was like, you probably don't trust God because you don't trust your earthly father. You know, you can't get past the tangible man,
right,
who's here and who's your dad,
right?
So no wonder you have like this being, whatever they may be, that you're supposed to trust, and he's really not here. Right. So like, you know, it's hard to keep that relationship. It's really important for me in the work that I do to not just tell you what and why you act this way, because you can be like, all right, now CJ, like,
right,
I know I'm depressed, I'm anxious, like, but what do I do about it?
Right.
So a lot of my brand is around, I'm telling you what it is, I'm educating you along the way, and telling you how to address it.
Right.
Like the how is really where it is, and we're in this state of influencers and all this stuff, and respect to a lot of people that I follow and life coaches or whoever, because everybody got a mic now. Everybody can buy one.
Okay, cheap as
anybody
$5.
can do it. It's easy. And so I'm like, you listen to all these people, but you don't get the insight as to like how a lot. So I pride myself in being able to give you those steps. So even in between every chapter, you get reflection questions, and you know, I have your grace space where, you know, you can come and we get together. And I've paused it for a while because I went back to work, but I'm about to ramp that up again, where you can come and like have this monthly talk with other people who are like-minded and want to address their relationship issues. So as the daddy issues therapist, I'm really trying to help people to make sure they're getting where they're less insecure attached, being aware of it, understanding how to address all that comes with it, and being more securely attached. That's my goal. So you can show up in all these spaces as your full self, accepting your flaws, knowing that you're going to be triggered, because you can't stop life from life.
No, you cannot.
But it's just like how you handle it.
Right. You got to have the tools.
So yeah, that's where I am. That's what I do.
I spend so much time with my dad. Like every day after school, he would pick, and like my parents were never together. They co-parented, but it was just like, it wasn't, I mean, I always saw my dad. It was never a time that it was never like, no, you can't go over there. Like, you know how like the co-parents, like it was never any of that. You want to go with your daddy? Bye.
Right.
Like,
I would say that too.
Right. So like every weekend, like we had Chuck E. Cheese. Like, like I had a beautiful relationship with my dad, and like those are the things that like, you know, even now my dad is my dog's babysitter. Okay, like they're best friends. He would call me and he's just like, "How's the dog?" I'm great.
Right.
I'm cool, but dog is fine.
Oh my God, you bring up so much. Okay, so I want to point out another woman that I describe as we're defining daddy issues is the daddy's girl, because the daddy's girl doesn't think she has daddy issues, right?
Read me.
I had to like put it in the book 5 years ago. I promise it was already there. Because my best friend also has a great relationship with her dad. She was like, "Girl, I'm gonna buy you a book, but you know."
Right. You know? And that's how I'm feeling like. I'm supportive, but like I have a great relationship with my dad. Right.
Yes, and that's the thing. Like you bring up such a good point, because it's on a spectrum.
Yeah.
So it's not like because I had a great relationship with my dad, I don't have daddy issues, even to a smaller degree. What you're talking about, like one of the symptoms is not trusting. I don't know if it's yourself or other people as much, or whatever that looks like. So that's the first thing. It's like the daddy's girl still is doted on so much that there is a certain deficit, because there's a skill you may or may not have really developed as strongly because daddy was there. Right. And so in terms of so that's number one. Daddy's girls can have daddy issues. You need to know that.
She ate us up, but that's cool.
Then the second thing, because I say that because I used to be a daddy's girl, and then it was taken away. So like it's like a lot. So I've been all the women I write about. A lot of the times when I'm like in my private practice, I would treat a lot of terminally degreed women. You got your PhDs, you're a CEO, you're a boss, but you can't make relationships work. Right. And when they come and I'm like doing an assessment, then they're just like, well, I'm not really sleeping or eating, but I'll do that when I get to that. Like, it's not a big deal. And then I say, you know what, sis, that may sound like anxiety. Oh, girl, I just be on edge. I be going, I can't sit down, I can't sit still. But I don't think I'm anxious, though. And I'm like, sis, that is textbook. I know how to diagnose. But, you know, it's like you can't even claim the thing.
Right. Because I am well-degreed, or because I have this job, I cannot associate myself with that.
I call that a trauma response. Yeah. That's really what it is. It's not like when, you know, you hear fight or flight. Like if the threat comes, I'm a fight, or I'm a run, or I'm a hide, I'm I'm a freeze. I'm a people please so that the threat doesn't like hurt me. Those trauma responses, I was just talking to somebody that yesterday. I have to tell this funny story. I was talking to a student yesterday. And she was like, okay, so my boyfriend broke up with me. And then I also she got into it with some friends. She was like, I don't really care. She was like,
I love that for her.
She was like, but this the thing. Now she asked me if she was a sociopath. I was like, girl, no. She was like, shouldn't I care? Like, shouldn't I be bothered by that? And I'm like, no. And so, like, even
I love her awareness, and that leads to my next question. People on social media, like, okay, is there things? Okay, because you have their life coaches or whatever, but then you do have licensed therapists, you know, who are on social media. Do you feel like certain terms like gaslighting and I'm creating boundaries and I mean, yeah, those are things, but do you feel like social media and just like now with this new age, like, do you feel like some things are like being
oversaturated?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the answer. That's a short answer. Because my husband and I are we're in couples therapy now. Like and that's the thing. You have to go to couples therapy while you like each other.
Yes. Because you don't want to be like, I hate you too, I hate you more.
There's some of that, but I'm just like, we're trying to work some stuff out. And so, and just like hear each other in this stage of our 19-year relationship.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's hard, but thank you.
But yes, but the fact that you have somebody who's wanting to still do it for 19 years, and I wish you 19 more and 19 more and 19 more.
Thank you, sis. And this the thing though. Be careful what you wish for, because now he's like, oh, you're gaslighting me. Or
now he's pulling you on you.
He's pulling me on me. And I'm like, what do you mean? So like
he ate you up. I'm sorry.
He did. I'm like, now you learn all the things that I done went to school for.
Like, delete that app off your phone. Thank you.
Please. So it's funny because people like you want to. I'm so glad that people, especially Black people, are like learning these things, this language, this vocabulary, and you're doing your work and you're healing and the shadow work and all that. But please know, some of this could be a distraction from what you really need to work on. Yes. So you could read a whole bunch of self-help books, including my Daddy Issues book, and be like, you know what? Okay. And still be where you are, because you may just out of fear be frozen. Like I was super triggered writing it. It took me longer than what I would have liked because I'm going through my own story. And I'm like
rehashing all of these traumas that you probably forgot about until you started writing about it.
The things that come up, I'm telling y'all. It's a lot. Literally.
So if we're having this conversation, I only can imagine what happens when you are having your grace session. So can we go into that? And what is the grace method?
Oh, yes. Okay. So the grace method is in the Daddy Issues book. And so it is, I told you, like, I give you the what. I tell you, girl, you're not a sociopath. You're traumatized.
Not a sociopath.
You're not a psychopath. You're traumatized. It's your trauma response. This is what's going on. And then I got to tell you the how. So grace is what really saved my life. Like, just like you said, you kind of return to God when you know. Like, it's like an innate thing. Because, I grew up in the church. Right. So I had just had Carter. Who is now 14, and I knew that I needed to be like in the church, because that's just where, that's where I was raised. But I started going to church while I was pregnant with him. And I was like, this is where I know I need to be. I need to feel accepted. I want my son to grow up with like this kind of background, whatever. And I just was, I was drawn. And so I remember thinking, like, when I first got back to church and I moved home to Columbia, the women's Bible study I joined, they were in the middle of this like grace series. So for the first time as an adult, I was 25. So I understood what grace was. Like, you hear the word, what is that song? Amazing Grace. Like, you know the things. But like, we were studying and breaking down what grace is. Right. And it's like the freely given, undeserved, unmerited love and favor of God. And I was like, so I could just be me and like, God's gonna love me. Do you know what I did when I was out here with the bird? Like, do you know?
Do you know me before I got here?
Do you know? And so it was weird, because that concept for me, my daddy issues, my trauma response, my anxious attachment says love is transactional. So even if you give me a compliment before, I'd be like, oh, well, I really like your earrings too. Right. Because I felt like I have to give you something.
Right, in return.
Because you were so nice to give me a compliment. So that was something I worked on for a long time. So when I understood that I can just be, and then God would love me. I was like, oh. So, like, I really, like, hung on to that. That got me through a lot of the guilt and shame that the church gives you for being an unwed mom.
Right.
Like, all that. So, I love a good acronym. So
don't we all?
So, it fits really nice on a t-shirt. It's easy.
We love our merch.
We love, right? Which I'm trying to work on.
You and me both.
Yes.
I'm going to have to give me some fans. You got to get you some Grace fans.
Oh, I know. Let's go trail ride with Grace, child. Come on, trail ride with Grace.
Come on. You can see your fans everywhere.
Heard it here first. So, I think it's just memorable when you can just say, boom, GRACE, getting to know your symptoms, rescripting your negative messages, adjusting, like, your self-care, addressing your self-care. The C is for connecting with healthy people and enforcing proper boundaries. Okay. So if you were going to live with grace and enact the grace method and address your daddy and mommy issues, aka just your attachment issues, I'm calling the parent trap, then you ground yourself first. That's the G. So, like, it's not a linear process, and on my page and on my content I tell you how to use the grace method. So, I mean, if you're someone who has already been kind of listening to your gurus on the internet,
right? Your social media therapist,
you know what I'm saying, you may already be meditating, so you good on the G.
Right.
So maybe you need to go in with enforcing boundaries, because there's somebody distracting you from really trying to get you to where you need to go.
Call me before I get here.
Oh my God, do you want to talk about that?
Like, because
let's get into
going to go into like, okay, so on this next segment, are we going to give it grace or are we going to give it a red flag?
Oh, I like that.
So
okay.
Don't dog me too bad.
I'm not. Okay. I would never do that to you.
So before I tell my business, we just gonna ask this first one. Okay. All right. Admitting things from your therapist because you don't believe it has any effect. Would you give it grace or is that a red flag?
Admitting things to your therapist.
So if something you ask me like, did you go back and talk to your ex? And I'm like, no, haven't heard from him.
Oh man, I would have to. Oh man, I think I would give it grace.
Okay.
I would, because it's up to the client to tell me what he or she needs to tell me, and based on your body language, I'm gonna call it out anyway. I mean,
so now you can go ahead and all right. So if you have been ghosted 3 times,
okay,
and this person continues to just somehow follow back up to see if they have access. Do you give that person grace because they're maybe working on themselves to become a better person, or is that a red flag?
That's definitely a red flag, sis. That's a red flag. It's something that I know we be feeling in our bones. We be knowing
deep down.
We be knowing.
And it's just like, what do you want from me? Like, for you to pop back up and then vanish again? Why leave me alone?
So you can do the same thing.
And it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Like,
I'm just saying, okay, this is how we make the move past that, right?
Please, I need a tool.
Okay, so then, because we get ghosted by like the best dick ever.
Oh my God.
You get ghosted by
and that's what I'm just
it'd
like,
be the worst.
Maybe he forgot he ghosted. Like, and like, this is my thing. I've never been ghosted before. Like, that really hurt my feelings.
So this is a new thing.
This was a new thing. And I'm just like, at 31, like, being ghosted. And it's just like, and I wasn't, well put together guy, but it's just like, you ghosted me. That is so rude.
It is.
And it's like, you did it 2 times.
That is no.
And it's like, I cannot give you a 3rd time, because the 3rd time I'll punch you in the face, and I don't want to be that person anymore.
No, we don't want to go backwards.
You're right, because I'm trying to heal and have grace. So
yes, I think okay. So this is what I tell people in your situation, right? There is a part of you, because I do parts work, right? I talked about Ray, my younger self. There's a part of you who feels like she needs this man. And I have you talked to her yet?
I did not. I keep ignoring her.
You got to talk to her.
Okay, I'm gonna have to have a heart to heart with her.
I don't know.
But just the thing, like, I've been like abstaining from sex, and I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna be, because if I think with her, I make terrible decisions.
Okay.
Every time I think with terrible decisions, and it's just like,
I've been there.
When Drake say propose, not clarity, it's just kind of like after I'm just like, that was not a good idea,
yes.
And I'm just like,
Yes.
So like now I'm at this phase in my life where it's just like, I don't want to share my body with anybody who does not care about me.
Good for
and
you.
it's just like not even like being deep or anything like that, but just like, if you don't care about me to like check on me, text me back, like just simple shit, then like, no, you don't deserve my body. I've been telling men lately, I said, I've left my coochie at home. I don't have it with me. It's at home. Left it back home. I don't know where it is, but it's not here.
Therapy. I'm taking it.
I left it at home.
I'm gonna say, Chris said, leave your coochie at home.
Leave it at home. Leave it just Leave it on the nightstand. Just leave it home. You don't need it. It makes you make bad decisions.
I love that.
So so I don't know. You
just gotta check in with her. That's it. And that's the thing, right?
Yes.
As a trauma informed therapist, I have to say, like, I have a friend who has a practice. Her name is Tina Phillips, and her therapy practice is called No Shame Counseling, Reiki, and Consulting. She has
love Reiki.
Oh yeah, she's a Reiki. I can give you her information. She's a Reiki practitioner, right there in Orangeburg.
Oh,
not very far from you.
Okay.
So her No Shame, she builds her practice on No Shame, and as a trauma informed therapist, we always talk about, like, we got to lead with, I'm not going to shame you because you may want this man.
Right.
So, like, when I'm talking to people who are in your situation, because I've been there too, then I'm like, I'm working on, like, not making myself feel bad. I'm not going to beat myself up because I want this thing.
Right.
Like, I started out my therapy career as a substance use counselor.
Okay.
So I would talk to my my clients at the time, and they were using, like, hard drugs,
right.
like, crack, heroin, as I used to,
right.
people say, and we would do this thing called, like, a functional analysis, and this may be helpful too. So, like, you get into your triggers, but not just like, I was mad, so I used. It'd be like, internally, what am I telling myself? Mm-hmm. In my body, I feel like a tingly in my belly. Like, it's like a withdrawal symptom. Like, you got to really know what
you have to identify it.
You got to identify it, like, way more detailed. Externally, what are your triggers? Like, who are you around? What time of day what time of day is it? Like, those kinds of things.
Right.
Then you get into asking why you do the thing, but what was so good about the crack and the heroin? Tell me. Like, what did it give you? And they'd be like, really? Like, I can tell you why I love snorting a line? I'm like, yeah, we got to get into it. So, like, in terms of, like, the men in relationships, like, what was so good about it? Because then you have an idea of where I can try to find something that makes me feel maybe not exactly like that, but like, close. I know what I'm searching for.
Right.
I can really, like, strategize around my coping skills or what I really am looking for. Mm-hmm. So we can't shame that part of us to be like, bitch, you were supposed to call this.
But it definitely makes me know what I do not like and what I'm not going to tolerate.
Yeah.
So I will say that.
That's the thing.
Okay, next one. Are we going to give a grace or is it a red flag? Mm-hmm. Dating a coworker.
Oh my God.
Is your husband your coworker?
No.
Was he your coworker?
No. I have seen some beautiful stories. I would say that it's I'm gonna say a red flag because I believe in space in relationships. I
don't want you behind me. I need a break. I need time to miss you.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's the thing.
Dating your friend's ex that they've moved on from.
Red flag. And I'm gonna say and the only reason I'm gonna say this is not to shame people who do this. Anyone I'm giving a red flag for is no shame. It's just, I would just take a second thought, because you have to still be friends with that person. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that I'm not going to say that person's not over their ex, but still they just know certain things that I just don't. Weird. Like, I don't want you to know the what my man birthmark at. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that.
If you date my ex, we can't be friends. No, it's weird.
I can't. Like, it's just too much.
It's weird.
And then your friendship gets all off. I don't know.
It throws things off. It is just like,
weird.
It's just weird. If it's a guy who, like, I maybe like this picture on Instagram, that's one thing. But my actual, like, no. Dating a man who will only go 50-50.
Only go 50-50?
Only go 50-50.
Okay, I gotta throw the caveat in here now, Chris. Like, what?
Okay, dating a man
why you shaming me?
I'm gonna read the question again.
I heard you.
Okay, dating a man who will only go because you said it. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the caveat. Because they're okay. I'm older. I'm almost 40. So I'm like, bro, like, what if there's this time in his life where that's all he can do? What if he's working on his master's degree? Okay. And for a couple years, I got to have you for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm not against that. But so does it have to stay 50-50?
Like, from the beginning, if he's only doing that. That's what your question is? Like, if it's only 50-50 from the
You're
beginning?
changing the question, but that's fine.
I'm about giving grace. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, fine. It starts off 50-50 and it ends off whatever. You want to give this man grace so bad.
I do. Okay. I treat these men. They have a hard time.
That is hilarious. All right. I got two more. Mm-hmm. Gentle parenting.
Oh my God.
Grace or red flag?
Oh my God.
Because I work in the school system with these little young kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's a red flag because these kids bad as hell and some of them need to be popped.
How old are the kids you work with?
I've written 6 CD, and it's just early education, early elementary education.
Okay. Oh,
so they're coming into themselves, but a lot of things is based off of home training.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it a red flag, but this isn't my question. It's your question. Sorry.
I agree. I mean, I'm in the middle because I don't think I was raised with a whole bunch of grace. I mean, I wasn't a kid to get in trouble anyway.
Right.
But so I can see how it can go both ways. I have my kid in here. I think I'm a gentle parent.
I love that for you.
But
you have discipline though.
I do.
I feel like gentle parents is like no discipline, and they just run around doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah. For that, like no foundation or parameters, I'm gonna give that a red flag. Like you can't be a gentle parent all times.
All right, my last one. Is this a grace or a red flag? Keeping in touch with an ex's family.
What if you have a baby?
Okay, you know what? I'm done with you. Okay, fair if you have a kid.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay.
If you do not have a kid.
If you don't
like
have
people
a
who
kid.
try to co-parent a dog.
Oh no, that's a red flag.
Okay.
Because that's the back door. You know what I'm saying?
See?
To get in. I get it, Chris. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop trying to change your question.
Throw another caveat. I'm like, hey, now enough of that.
I'm gonna take over your game.
So clearly she's giving grace. Everybody, you get grace. Everybody get grace.
Everybody
but we
grace.
love that. But
Yes.
I appreciate you so much, and all of your your grace affirmations and everything. Ooh. Before we close out,
Yes.
what can we expect from your mommy issues book?
Oh,
because and I will say, it was a trend on TikTok. I forgot what it was called, but it was a lot of girls who were just like, it was so many girls who was so disheartening, but they did not have good relationships with their mom.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's crazy because me and my mom, we're like best friends. I call my mom at minimum 5 times a day.
Period.
And like, we just have a beautiful relationship. And like, when I saw like all these different TikToks of like girls who just like, and it's like their mom, like mom calling him a bitch. And I'm just like, what is going?
I see that a lot.
Oh my God. So like, tell me about what we can expect from mommy issues.
So I am really grateful to have a good relationship with my mom. And truth be told, I grew up with her. Like I consider her for a lot of my life like a big sister. My mom is only 20 years older than me.
Oh.
so like she had my brother and me when they were like 19 and 20. And so it's hard to see her as mom. And she was like on Friday, hey Miss Parker, so
come on, fine mama.
She's fine.
Yes.
I will never age.
I know that.
Okay,
right.
so I don't get that either, right? Like bad relationships with parents or moms, but it really is a thing. Like I have so many clients over the last decade where it's unfortunate, maybe because I see primarily Black women, but it's a lot of the Black community, like moms and daughters go after it. It's so terrible, and I think
insane.
I think it's because the mom she has daddy issues,
right?
And so that's hard. She's not working through that. Then that's going to make it harder for her. The Mommy Issues book, I was asked to write that as soon as I dropped Daddy Issues, because they was like, girl, that's cute, but like me and my mom, and
it's a lot of women, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks. So it took me a while to write it because I didn't realize, because mom was a present parent, physically present parent, that I had mommy issues. So I was like, oh shit, I guess I should put some of this
Another
stuff
deep
in
dive,
there. Yes, I was not ready. So I started writing that book, and what you can expect is not exactly my story with my mom. It is more so what you are experiencing as someone who probably does have a lot of self-doubt, difficult relationships with men, not trusting yourself, a lot of overachieving, a lot of people pleasing. I'm getting more into those things. I see a lot because as Black women, especially, our moms are teaching us, you got to be better than the next one. You got to wear this cape. If you're not going to do it, nobody else will. So we're getting into more of those themes and breaking down where they come from as it relates to how you saw your mom do it, did not see your mom do it, because on the other side of the spectrum, she wasn't shit, so I'm going to do it because she wasn't. So now I'm doing it in spite of, to show her. Or to
what it
prove
felt
to
like.
her. Exactly. So mommy issues is, again, I'm always going to give you the how. We're talking about the grace method in there, how you can apply it to mommy issues, and then other separate reflection questions. Mommy issues you have to address differently. So they're just themes. It's a different conversation. I think it's a harder conversation. It's harder, I think, than daddy issues, because whether you have a relationship with your mom that's healthy or not, like, she is the one who carried you.
It's a totally different relationship.
It's different. Like, and then when, like, people who say I didn't have a dad, I don't have daddy issues, I didn't have a mom, whatever it is, your mom still like physically carried you. Like that's supposed to be
a certain bond,
a super close bond, a super high like connection. And when you don't have it, it's weird. And as women, like we have all these things, like oxytocin levels go down. That's the hugging hormone, right? Yeah. So like we're supposed to have that, but then you have people who have postpartum,
right?
Oxytocin levels are down. So like, how can we see mom as a human,
right, without the cape,
without like the cape, a human who had a kid? Do you know your mom before she was a mom? I have a really good friend, Jessica Van of Envision Counseling, and she is really, really great at this trash parenting thing, trash mom. Like, it's an amazing platform and brand and everything she's building, because she's giving us as moms permission to say, hey, parenting sucks. I don't really like my kid today.
Right.
Like
they're a little jerk today.
They're being a freaking jerk today. And they don't know all the things I'm doing in the background to do things, but they expect mom to love.
And show up all the time as mom.
Always show up.
And I'll never forget, like, when I got older, and it's just like, I don't know, it's a certain point when you get older and you realize that, like, my parents were like humans before I was even before I was born. Like they were actually just people, just existing and just figuring out their own lives. And now a kid is added to the picture, and they're just still trying to do the best they can.
Just still trying,
literally still trying.
Yes.
And so I'm looking forward to it. So when will it be available, and where can they purchase that and Daddy Issues?
Yes, so you can go to my website, couchwithchristian.com, and that's going to have everything. It's a one-stop shop. It has a shop page. I am actually revamping, and it'll be relaunched by the end of the month here in April.
Fabulous.
And the book will be ready, so I'm hoping to get pre-sales up, because we're finalizing the fillable book. So it's an ebook, the Mommy Issues book, and so you can like journal in the actual document so that you can take it with you. So we're going to try something new. I'm piloting that so that we can see how that content works. And of course, I get hired to speak a lot, so I am available for that, and I do workshops. And Your Grace Space is something I've done for some women just who had birthday parties and they just want like a professional to come in. Like, can you do a homegirl workshop and let's talk about friendship, or let's talk about relationships and love and stuff. So that's where those conversations come from. Like, the content I make is for you, by you, because you've asked for it, somehow, and I'm just going to try to give it to you. So yes, Instagram's there.
And speaking of content, what's the Instagram name and all that good stuff?
Thank you. It's at Couch with Christian. And I'm on Threads at the same name, at Couch with Christian.
Love Threads.
I'm trying it,
Yeah, it's cool. New. It's cool. I feel like right now is a positive community, so I'm here for it.
Yes, right. Right now is no mess.
Right. It hasn't become X yet. But what do you want to leave us with? I enjoyed this conversation so much.
Too.
Like, it was just really, really good conversation. But what do you want to leave us with?
I want to leave everyone with just the notion that you are stronger than what you think you are. Because even outside of just everything we've been able to kind of talk about in this short time, there are lots of things I didn't think that I could do physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And when I've been able to do that, it reinforced and called out something that was always there. I had my own therapy session with a friend who did something called brain spotting with me a couple of years ago. It's a different kind of treatment. You guys can go Google it. But it really kind of calls out your trauma and like how to address it in like a biophysical kind of way. And what came out of that session for me was everything you need, you already have.
Yeah.
Somehow we go through so much trauma and so much just crap that we just forget that I can actually do this thing, and it's so fulfilling. So we have to shed the fear that is been learned, because we're only born with two fears. That is fear of falling and fear of loud noises, which means everything else is learned.
That is so cool.
So
I never knew that.
Forget everything else, Chris. What you were doing in your relaunch and your rebrand, it is beautiful. You have come through a lot.
You don't know how much. Listen, you don't know how much I needed to hear that. Like, cut the camera before I cry. No,
yes, it's going to be amazing. You have everything you need. Giving yourself grace, and you keep pushing. And I'm watching you do the things, and all the things are flooding in. And as someone who is, I guess, about a decade older than you, like, it's very inspiring. So I think you need to know that.
I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, honey.
Thank you. Well, this was another episode of Princess Diaries podcast. We are closing this chapter, but stay tuned for another episode. Make sure we're connected on social media. Chris Kalen on Instagram, Facebook, the Chris Kalen on X and TikTok. And also make sure you are booking your session at Link Studios, where we have 3 rooms available for you to use. So make sure you check out my booking link in the bio. Thanks for tuning in.